Show.
Sugar City Morning Show. Good morning, good morning, good morning. A most pleasant morning going out to everyone waking up to this brand new beautiful morning, this brand new beautiful day. As we say, oh what a beautiful morning, oh what a beautiful day. Robert Cheque, Usher, good morning and welcome to the Sugar City Morning Show right here on Nortevision Channel 10. That's right, folks, Channel 10, that's on the open air. If you do not have cable does not reach your area, then you can just put up a little antenna and then you will see us. There is some televisions as well that has, the switch for cable. You can switch it from cable to antenna, so just switch it to antenna and then you will be able to see us. And for the other viewers here in Orange Walk, we are on channel 62. In different parts of the country, we are on different channels, but I'm sure that you all get to find us and to view us on those channels. So once again, welcome, good morning, and welcome to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's a blessed morning, a blessed day. We're feeling the heat already, and the corona begs with we because the corona don't like the heat. That we were made to understand that when the heat they're on, the corona stay away. So we will continue with the heat, but just as a reminder, folks, we like to remind you all that it should be in the next, I believe, like 10 days time, we will be jumping into the hurricane season, because the hurricane season kicks in the month of June, from June to November. And you also know that it has started already. Hurricane Arthur is out already. Some little damages there in the Florida area. And, the season ain't open yet. But make we start to get together, clean up the drain, and get things going. But let's get blessed this morning. Hello, good morning, Delvi.
Buenos dias, good morning.
Buenos dias. Gal, we got cut off yesterday.
I know the current, I don't know, we had blackout over the site, so.
Yeah, it was not an outage that was planned, but we understand that BL had to fix some wires that was hanging, no?
Okay.
Yeah, so we couldn't even get the program with Pastor Ann yesterday because as we come on and go off, so the technician decided better we wait. Left it until Thursday,
Yeah.
So we'll be having Pastor Ann back on Thursday. But we are still alive, so we're going.
That's right, we are here, alive and breathing and well, thanks God. So.
Yep. Okay, well, give us that blessings today then.
All right. Almighty and Heavenly Father, Lord, this morning I just give you thanks once again for another day. Thank you for blessing us with the breath and the gift of life. Thank you, O Lord, for protecting and keeping us and for having us here. And as we go about this day, O Lord, I just pray that it be a little bit more of you in and through us and a little bit less of ourselves. For without you, O Lord, we don't breathe, we don't move. Lord, you are the very breath that blows in and through us. Lord, and I pray for every soul you're not through with yet. I pray, O God, for your divine covering, your protection, O Lord, your blessings, O Lord. For those who may be going through a rough time at the moment, I pray that you bring peace to them. For those who may be mourning at the moment, I pray, Lord, that you send your angels to comfort them. Those who are still on the front line, O Lord, the military, the doctors, I pray that you cover them with your blood, sweet Jesus. And I pray, O Lord, for every person in their homes, in the hospital, wherever they may be, that you bless and cover your people, O Lord. Thank you for looking over Belize, for looking over us as a people. And I pray that you continue to look over us. And I just pray for the entire world, that you may just heal us, Lord, the way that only you can. I give you thanks for this day, Lord, and for all that you do. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen.
Amen, amen, and amen, and thank you. The blessings go far, Delvi.
It does, Mr. Church.
It goes very far because, they had a program. Well, they have several music program and several competitional programs in the U.S., And they had this program, The Voice. It's an program where persons go and sing, and they go from all over the country and they select them and they go. And last night was the grand finale, And it's so overwhelming to know and to hear that the person who won was a pastor. Yeah, the pastor won that conversation. I hear the rooster too, girl.
Yes, you don't wake up already.
Yeah, he be up. But he can't stand the heat.
Well, because the God is still alive, so you bear the heat.
Yeah, I bear the heat. Yes, God, but you see how the blessings go? And this
Yeah.
pastor, he have like 8 kids, but not biological kids, right? Kids that he takes in his home and, you know, raise them and everything, you know. And so the blessings are out there, girl.
It moves, Mr. Chicken.
Yeah.
God is a living God. He moves, and whatever comes from him moves. It reaches place.
Yeah. What I say, can we continue with the poem from yesterday?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm going to continue the point from yesterday then, cause we don't like when they break in like that, right? But that was beyond our control.
I will start from the beginning.
Yes, make we do it all over.
All right. Blessed to be his mess.
Okay.
How can you tell me to be blessed when things in my life are going wrong? I'm broke, my kids are hungry, the bills are piling up. Last night there was a shootout and the bullet broke through my very last cup. My friend is in the hospital. I recently lost my job. Not sure when I'll get back to normal. So for now, anything I have to grab. I went home to find that the cat is dying and that was the icing on the cake. How can you tell me to be blessed in this much heartache? God didn't promise us a bed of roses, but he did promise us life. Whether we ask for it or not, there will be trials, there will be tribulations, there will be strife. He did promise that he will be with us no matter what it may be, but sometimes we're too broken and hurt for us to really see that when we make it home safely in the evening, how many angels are fighting on our behalf. When we feel down and alone, he is right there hoping that we think of a reason to laugh. When we face abuse and mistreatment, he is right there until we see what he's trying to show us all along, that in every weak state, God is right here to make us strong. How can you tell me to be blessed when I am in this mess? God has a history of dealing with messy people, and he has not lost one. But he loves us too much to leave us that way. He is still the right answer in all the many things that do go wrong. Blessed to be his mess.
Bless. Okay, so when you look at it now, Delve, when you look, it's a reality in this poem because when you look on the introduction of the poem, you know, with the first lines, what are the first lines that you have in the poem there?
It says, how can you tell me to be blessed when things in my life are going wrong? I'm broke, my kids are hungry, the bills are piling up. Last night there was a shootout and the bullet broke through my last cup.
Okay.
My friend is in the hospital, I recently lost my job.
Yeah, so when you look at that, how much can someone take? How much can someone bear? You know, and trying to follow the path of the blessings of the good Lord. But I believe these are some of the challenges that comes, right?
Yes, Mr. Chicken, they will come.
Yeah, so
You know?
you're broke. You don't want to do the kind of job where you used to do because you're reading the Bible now and you're saying, hey, this kind of job that time I do, this no good. You know? Or if I make I go out, go hustle, because I used to hustle every day if I make me pick dinner and eat. I have to pay my rent. One bullet gone through. It broke my last one I have inside, my last cup. So, will you get too much that you can bear?
Well, the Lord never gave you no more than we could bear, Mr. Checky. You know, and when I write these poems like this, you know, I don't have a whole lot of kids, but I've been through rough patches myself, and life will bring more rough patches. When the kids get older, they find girlfriend, boyfriend, more problem come.
Yeah.
You know, but when we seek God in all things that we do, you know, no care how rough, how difficult today, he always find a way.
Yeah, and maybe
He always find a way.
maybe when there are things happen, maybe we not see it, but God say what they happen, and we know the see it and say, man, but I don't have nothing to eat, man. But then it's not about you not having nothing to eat or to pay your rent or your bills. Something is there that is keeping you back from getting all these things done, right? But you know the seat. And you might feel that everything good, everything bright and beautiful, but why I had to suffer like this? My picnic never eat yesterday. They cut out my light. I'm got a candle, the candle drop, and I burn one on my curtain. Can I live with this?
You know? And when you have that peace with God, you know, things will happen. And, you know, I have always shared it. You know, walking with Christ, it is not one fairy tale and not just for walking at the park. And it's not to scare anybody, because Christ wants us to come to him, but there will be challenges. And a lot of the time people walk out and left the church and said, this church not work for me because I still go through stuff.
Yes, I still hungry. I have to go hustle.
And, you know, every person who God work with in the Bible, they gone through stuff.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, there is salvation with him, because this life's temporary.
Yeah.
We know they have to turn rock stone.
Yes, yes. And it's not an easy road, right?
It's not an easy road, but it's one that is walkable. We will crawl or roll or hopper, but we keep moving in that path, you know, forward with him.
It's promising.
It is promising. There is a light at the end of the road.
Yeah, I saw the light. I saw the light, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a light. Yes, there is.
And you got to make the light shine, right?
Got to make it shine, Mr. Chex, while we are here.
That's right. Well, once again, Dev, thanks so much. And tomorrow is Thursday, so we're gonna get our next poem tomorrow, right?
Double up, definitely. Double up.
Okay.
Bless me with breath. Well,
okay.
Tomorrow.
Good. All right. Well, thanks very much then.
All right, Mr. Chex. Have a good one.
Same to you. Folks, at this time, we will be checking in with the Belize Met Service. Let me send a text to somebody, because they're telling me that they're going to leave blank screen on the TV. We'll have to know where it is, so we could guide you and send you a text and tell you what you need to do, because sometimes it's just a little thing with your TV. But let's check in with the Belize Met Service now, folks. You know, we had a blackout yesterday, and then we have to continue adjusting. We might feel like it's only for us to put on back the electricity and turn on everything, and everything is bright and beautiful. It's not only that, folks. Lot of things has to be reset and to set back in place. We will now check in with the Belize Met Service for today's weather forecast, and there's a special offer from DJ that we will be telling you about as well. We got Minister Aragon here ready. So as soon as we go on our first break, Minister Aragon will be coming on with us right here on this Wednesday, May 20th, 2020, the general situation when it comes to the weather. It says fair conditions will prevail over most areas today. The 24-hour forecast, sunny with cloudless spells today and partly cloudy. Tonight, showers or thunderstorms will be isolated, except for a few more over the south tonight. The winds are blowing east to southeast at 10 to 20 knots. The sea stayed choppy. Let's take a look at the temperatures. The temperatures in the coast will rise from 31 Celsius to 88 Fahrenheit. Inland, 36 Celsius, 96 Fahrenheit. And temperature in the hills will rise from 29 Celsius to 85 Fahrenheit. Tonight, in the coast, 28 Celsius, 82 Fahrenheit. And inland, 24 Celsius, 75 Fahrenheit. In the hills, 22 Celsius, 72 Fahrenheit. Residents, especially inland, are advised to stay hydrated and avoid outdoor activities as much as possible. Take care of the picnic. Not make them run about in a lot of sun right now, because you know, they could get dehydrated. And remember, we don't want the picnic have to go to the hospital or they go to the doctor, because things tight right now, right? So make we take care of it. Directly they don't run and get a heat stroke. Make we take care of it. And you know, sometimes we put on the hose and we wet up the picnic, but if you do it, not do it like for a whole hour, half an hour. And people where they get a pool, when you get on the pool, when you get on the filter as well, so you can filter the water, so you don't have to change it over and over and cover the pool with something so you can use it another day, you know. The outlook, a few showers and isolated thunderstorms will affect most areas. On Thursday, mainly southern areas. On Thursday night, a high tide will occur this morning at 8:17, followed by a low at 3:24, and at a high tide at 9:25 tonight, followed by a low tomorrow morning at 2:53. The sun was up at 5 16 this morning and will set at 6:19 today. So look on a lot of sun. And the moon will set today at 4:47 and rise tomorrow morning at 4:37. That is your general weather forecast right here, brought to you by the Belize Met Service and certainly by your Universal Radio. Folks, before we go on our first break, let's bring you this special from Digi right here this morning, because Digi has it special. Remember, the promotion on the phones are still on. That's right, the promotions on the phones are still on right now, but there's a next promotion coming your way right here, and we will be sharing that with you this morning right here on Universe. That's right here on North Television Channel 10. But remember, this big offer, this big Mother's Day offer, let me see, it goes until the 29th of May. See that next week, same time when Abanja birthday, so they will be celebrating. Chepe, don't ask me when Abanja birthday, so you go to Abanja house. Folks, right now, you can go to the Digi office right here in Orange Walk. You can get the Alcatel 3X. You just pay $99 down and you pay only $6 a week. Only $6 a week, folks. And this is over the entire country. All the way to PG, because sometimes when people call from PG or text and say, when we are getting a promotion? Well, the promotion is all over the country. Also, we have the Alcatel 5033A. You pay $59 down and you pay only $8 weekly. Only $8 weekly. They have the ZTE A3 Lite. Pay down $59 and only $7 a week. Only $7 a week, folks. Then we go to the Samsung phones as well. We know a lot of people like the Samsung phone. They have the Samsung A30. You pay down $139. This is a very high-end phone. All these phones are internet capable, and they are only $7 a week. Only $7 a week, folks. We have the A1. It's a Samsung as well. You pay down $99, and you got a weekly payment of only $7. Only $7. And we also have the J2. The payment from of the J2 is as low as $59. Only $12 a week. So check out Digi today, folks, for all these great promotions. And also for persons that in their, sometimes our house will change from one thing to the next. But right now going on, right up until the 19th of June, bring your unused DigiNet modem. You remember I have the modem before, maybe you know to use it again, to any Digi store countrywide and receive $50 free primary credit. $50. So what you need to do for that, it goes up on June 19. It's on right now. Bring in your unused DigiNet modem to any Digi store countrywide and receive $50 free primary credit. To qualify, the modem must be a complete DigiNet modem, inclusive of the back tray and power supply. That can still power on, and service would have had to be terminated prior to May 2020. So to view more on this, you can go to LiveDigi or livedigi.com and you will see how you can be part of that. So hurry and be part of this big deal only from Digi. So get $50 free credit. Folks, the time now is exactly 23 minutes now after 7 o'clock. And we will be taking a break, and when we come back, we will have a conversation this morning with Minister Aragon right here on North Television Channel 10.
John Briceño says government needs to trim the fat. Let's take a minute to look at that fact.
Johnny Briceño receives a salary of $60,000 from the government to be the leader of the opposition and $84,000 for sports and community projects in his constituency. The People's United Party representatives receive about $993,000 annually from government to assist residents of their constituencies.
Since the COVID-19 state of emergency, the Prime Minister of Belize has given all his salary toward the relief efforts. The UDP ministers has given up a month's salary and allowances going forward. Johnny Briceño has not agreed to give up anything. The PUP representatives have not agreed to give up anything.
Leadership is about action, not words.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan muriatic acid now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward. Our economy benefits when goods and mobile services get to their destination quickly. When citizens are able to travel without frustration and undue hurdles, everyone benefits as well. The government of Belize is happy to announce the imminent upgrades to the Carazal-Sartaneja Road. 27 miles of road will be upgraded to paved standards and will include the replacement of 2 ferries with new bridges.
Why is it that we're going to invest in Sartaneja? Why is it that we have to take $50 million to invest in an area where we do not have a political directorate? We believe that as a government, we have to provide a service to all Belizeans.
Well, this for the village of Chunosh is a big advantage both ways. Sometimes when we got sickness, we got people sick at the clinic there, women. When we reach at the ferry, can't pass, 45 minutes have to wait. So now this road will benefit whole village, Sartaneja and Copperbank. I'm part of Progreso too. Well, it's really important for us.
I know that our village is not so much developed with tourism because it's a remote village. And for that reason, we don't have a lot of tourism over there. But now with this upgrading of the road and the pavement of the road, I think that, I believe and I think that it will be much beneficial for us and for everybody.
More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. Diginet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. Nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, Diginet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by Diginet. Diginet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the washers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
The San Ignacio-Santa Elena Bypass project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional road works will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. For the person who texted us a while ago and say they were not seeing us, I send them a text and ask them why. They say, all right, sorry, say somebody just knocked on the channel off for the TV, but they could see us now, all right? So say, want to know the same way, just send a little text and we're guy doing, but this morning it's 28 minutes now away from 8 o'clock. It's the 20th day of May 2020. We have Minister Aragon with us this morning. So at this time, we say good morning, Minister, and welcome.
Well, good morning, Checky, and of course, good morning to all our radio listeners who are tuned in to us at East Radio 104.9, and of course, those of you at home viewing us on your TV. No matter where you are in this country, we want to say a pleasant good morning.
Yeah, just check the switch, yeah.
Right, I'm with the app now.
Yeah, all right.
Like I said, good morning, right?
Good morning, Minister.
Yes, Checky, good morning, pleasure being here again, and of course, good morning to all those people out there in this wonderful country of ours, Belize, I want to say pleasant good morning, and it's a pleasure and honor to be here today, Checky.
I just tell the minister I forget for bringing the phone, but the phone is here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Checky.
Good morning. Please lower the volume of my radio, Miss Cynthia, your TV.
All right, no problem.
All right.
Checky.
Yes, morning.
I got a problem with Social Security.
What happened, man?
Why? They're not answering none at all. They're not telling me nothing.
What you may apply for? What you apply for the unemployment fund?
Yes, sir.
And you not get no reply yet if you have been qualified?
No, sir. We not get nothing.
Okay. Well, we understand that things are start to speed up. So I believe by the end of the week you're supposed to get it, because the Prime Minister said last week that they're gonna speed up things, and I know a lot of people will get it. So it might soon come your way, and I hope so, no?
All right, then, check it out. They wait for you.
All right, thank you very much.
No problem.
Yes.
Yeah, and,
Yes, Minister.
And just to add to what the caller said, there's on the same web page where people went on the internet and applied for the financial assistance. There's a portal there where you could punch in your social security number,
Yeah.
and it gives you a response as to where they are in your process, no?
Right.
So that could, that's a quick check of where you are, no? But definitely, I know, Checky, from late last week, people were texting in terms of asking where they are with their second payment, no?
Mm-hmm.
And from what I had asked Carla Barnett that we had a lot of people asking, because I really don't know who all are on the committee, but she said she will look into it. But she told me that definitely payments are on its way in terms of second payments for people now.
I had 3 persons who called me yesterday, Minister, and they said they got their second payment already.
Yeah, well, she told me it would happen in a couple of days. So that was from last week. So I assume a lot of people are indeed getting it, no?
Yeah. Okay, well, it's like, that one new thing for the country. We never gone through.
Yeah.
So by going, we won't say we learn from our mistake, but by going, we check out the glitches and we know. So hope we don't have to reach this situation again. But if something have to happen, then I believe the system will work much better.
Yeah. But I do believe that the government is doing all that it can with the resources it has, and I think there's a lot of people have gotten their assistance. So that speaks well of the system right now. Of course, there are always room, from what I understand in cabinet, where there is always an amount of people who have maybe their bank accounts are closed and the money is returned. You have issues with certain banks that are manual systems. You have issues in terms where accounts wrong numbers are given, and different issues that create delays in people getting their disbursement in terms of their allowances. The support that government gives. So those sometimes pose some issues.
Yeah, some want to follow up some things, Minister. But I think it was sometime, I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, the central bank issued a regulation that everyone should need to go to their banking institution and update their accounts.
Right.
So people may just got account and maybe they don't have no money in it, so they never may use it. But then to avoid a lot of money laundering, you need to go, like credit union, and you go and you update your account. I never update my account for a while, so it may hard for me to even pay my loan. So had to update it. All you need to do is to take a light bill, and then I ask you how much money you make, so they know that when time you put in money, it goes with the amount of money that you put on the application that you are receiving monthly. If you are doing buy and sell, you tell them, okay, it goes from this to that. So if you update your account, then that's an issue right there. Some will never gonna update your account. So I know somebody whenever update the account, their funds were there and
they couldn't access the funds.
They can't access it.
Yeah, and the updating is only a normal part of what we have to do to comply to the regulations, from the FIs out there. But definitely, I think that it is important that we go and do it, because that's everybody needs one bank account nowadays. Yes. And sometimes you have a bank account and say, oh, I have it, but it has been inactive for so long. That means more than likely the bank don't close your account.
Yeah, that's true.
And then when you applied and you put that number for government to send money, government send the money, but the money bounce back because it's closed. So active, exactly. But these are things that I guess these are some of the little glitches. But definitely, I'm sure people are overcoming these now.
Yeah. What are the things you are saying, Minister, that we are learning from this experience that we're going through right now?
Well, I'd say a lot of things, definitely. For one, we have to realize that what was and how we carried on in terms of living our lives, that don't change to a large extent. Right now, we have to look at and see how we move on after this, the social distancing, the protective gears in terms of, when we're out there, the awareness of viruses and all of these things. I think it has played how would I put it? It has basically widened our scope of how we will go about living here on, And we might look right now and talk about COVID-19 right now, but 5 years from now,
Could be
another virus, and things like that, because we live in this dynamic world right now. And the things where people may think 30 years ago, like with viruses and that, they're right here, they live it right now with COVID-19, and in the history of man, we have always had viruses that has been around, that have been impacted on mankind. Right now, at least we are blessed with technology, we are blessed with science, and I think to a large extent that has kept us well. But definitely right now with this COVID-19, I mean, if you listen to news, you find that President Trump is pushing hard, trying to find a vaccine out there.
Yeah.
He wants his economy open because, every there's not an economy in this country, in the world, including Belize, that has not been affected with the COVID-19 virus. And I think that is a real challenge to nations across the globe. And right now, definitely, the question is what will happen within the next 3 to 8 months, or 3 to the rest of this year and beyond. Will a vaccine be found? Will ways to solve the pandemic that we're in right now, and I think those are important things. I know there's a lot of people working on those things abroad, and I think we are here in Little Belize, we can only manage and cope with the impacts, because one, like I said last week, Cheke, we are taking a serious look in the tourism sector. I spoke to a friend of mine yesterday in San Pedro. San Pedro, all they live off is the tourism dollars. I mean, the tourists that come, and right now they don't have no tourists out there.
Yeah, and you might wonder too, Minister, some people might wonder, hey, but they got people got their own money if you go buy that shop and so. But where that money comes from? Their families might be working at a restaurant, at a hotel. They might work at a dive shop. But there is where the money from tourism comes in, right?
Exactly. There's a spill-off, and San Pedro is a tourist destination. That is the place for tourists to go. You don't have tourists right now, where that money will come. And you have to understand, people have investments. That means people owe bank, mortgage and homes. So, yes, maybe government is to a large extent assisting a lot of people on that island who are still being affected by COVID-19, but at the end of the day, what government give you can't suffice for what you owe the bank and your lifestyle and the things that you are used to. And so I do think it creates a big challenge. And I think if you look at the news last night, I think Tropic Air is laying off they have stated that they are looking to lay off 200 and odd workers. I mean, that tremendous thing. No matter, even if they were on half pay already, they were still being paid. So this just goes to show the extent.
That we don't have the tourism, right?
Right. So there are challenges, and there will always be challenges. But definitely at this point in time, you might have some people who will attack and say, "Oh, we need to invest in agriculture." That is a whole nother ball game, a whole nother discussion, and it's not an easy thing. You can't add that to the mixture right now. It is all good within the discussion, because of course we have to have it. Of course we have to look at these things, and I always think that we have to be open. But at this point in time, we as a country must be concerned as what is happening right now with the situation at hand and how we move forward.
Yeah.
And I do think the government is doing its best in terms of how we has coped, dealt with this COVID-19 situation. But of course, just like every other country across the globe, the economic and financial situation is one that has basically affected every single nation. So they're not like only Belize, they go through this,
You can't
across the country. It's no matter where we go in the world, this situation is real for all governments,
When the PM spoke last week, he was saying that, the government has some little financial problems. But I want to see if this goes with what this text is saying here. It said, "Good morning, Checky. I got the first payment, and it don't pass 1 month, but nothing more. What happened? The PMC that were broke already."
Well, they're not broke. They're not. Well, what is happening is it's all budgeted for. A lot of the issues in terms of why people not get the second payment, and that has to do with the processing of these things. Remember, government not just issue money like that. It says you are processed already, then somebody have to ensure that that money goes to bank, etc.
But the funding for this is there, right?
It is there. I think, if I'm not mistaken, government definitely has calculated and has funding for at least maybe, I'm not too sure, but maybe 6 to 8 months, Okay. So that is there. The problem right now lies in terms of how this money is dispersed, the process. I mean, somebody has to send it to the bank and all of these things,
Right.
And the bank have to then take it and then put it in your account and things like that. So to me, those are the delays in terms of getting things moving.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so now when we talk about, we are trying to promote our local tourism, be a tourist in your own country. Do you know if there is regulations when it comes to the hotels, taxes and everything? I think it was Mr. Ted Tejada that said that the government has waived their taxes. I think it was for the month of March. How that come when it comes to the economic, as have so much hotels over the country, and it's something good that the government waived that as well, no?
Yeah. Well, in terms of lifting the restrictions, I think for all hoteliers across this country, I think that is good, because I mean, if you got a hotel and you have 1 or 2 guests come across, and then you can't even feed in at a restaurant and things like that, I think it creates an issue, and definitely I think government is aware of that, and that has been lifted already. And when you talk about local tourism, that is good. I mean, anything that can kickstart this economy, at least in terms of supporting the flow of funds, I think is very important. If you ask if local economy can solve our problems, it will not, because we are dependent on tourism. I mean, when you look at the amount of foreign revenue that is brought in by the tourism sector, I mean, it is tremendous. So definitely opening up the hotels and all of these things, the restrictions in the restaurants and all of these things will help in a certain way, that at least if you go on, like I say, you have a meeting wherever and you need to stay overnight at PG, and then you know that you could stay there.
Yes.
And you could get on leave food if you need to buy one, and the restaurant could say, well, at least I got a couple guests where I could deal with, but it will no way bring us close to where we were, because we are dependent on the tourists that come to this country, and especially in areas such as San Pedro, Placencia, that are heavy in terms of the tourism sector, Belize City with the cruise tourism, Kikak and all of these things, Orange Walk, yeah, we know heavy set on tourism as yet. But of course, tourists do pass through Orange Walk, and it lends itself to the private sector in terms of hoteliers and restaurants and all of these things. But to those areas that are heavily dependent on tourism, they are taking a lick, and the question is, when will we get our tourists back? Well, all of that dependent not on Belize, it is dependent on what is happening abroad, what's happening in the US, what's happening in Mexico, Guatemala, and across the world. Because the tourists comes from out of the country. So I do think that all of these things play a role or come together in dictating when things open up. If tomorrow you find that they have a vaccine, etc., I am telling you, so fast things are moved to get back to where they were, But like I said, everything is dependent on what is happening. And Belize is only one country of many trying to see how we move forward. And Belize, Belize is part of both Central America and the CARICOM, and the Caribbean countries. And definitely, when we go through, our sisters and brothers in the Caribbean are going through the same thing.
Yeah, we got a beautiful country, got beautiful people, nice people. who know if to treat people good when they come. So people like going to Belize because when the tourists they come to Belize, they feel well relaxed, you know. They got the areas where the ones that come when they have like the spring break where people go party.
Yeah.
They have areas where retirees could go and relax off with no kind of noise. Because you know that in the countries, then in their house, some freeways they close and they have a lot of nice. They just go and go relax off. So when it comes to what we have, we do have these places that persons can be encouraged to come to Belize. Somebody sent me a text and say, if this, do you know when it comes to the prices of the hotels, if they are being adjusted for Belizeans?
Well, of course, I think there's in terms of hoteliers across this country, I'm sure that they are going to try to attract. If there's anybody, if you know we are at a crunch time, no tourists there, and I want to, if anybody coming to, let's say San Pedro, and I got a hotel, of course I'll try to reduce my price to accommodate the Belizeans, because whatever little money you can make, you know, we will go towards the financial crunches you are facing. So I am sure that hoteliers will be looking at packages and stuff to assist in terms of getting Belizeans to reach out to them, no?
Yeah, and it goes further than only the owner of the hotel, you know, Minister, because the owner of the hotel is one. So you have a lot of people who work there. People who work there, they carry home and leave money. Some of them got a restaurant, they buy chicken, they buy soft drinks, they buy water. So the money circulate, and it's the same tourism that comes in that consume these products.
Yeah.
So it's not only the hotel or the airlines or the water taxi benefit from that. It has a wide scope that it covers, right?
Right.
Yeah, well, Minister, it's 9 minutes away from 8, and we need to take a break, and we'll continue our discussions right here. Want to say good morning to the folks listening to us on the East Radio this morning. Good morning to all the lovely folks in the East area. We have Minister Aragon. Remember, you can call us at 302-2170. 302-2170. You can send a text message at 600-5769. And Minister Aragon and Robert Cheque Usher will be back after these messages right here on Nora Television, Channel 10.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el... ¿Balancín? Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Roche France, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado, German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Roche France.
The ongoing technological evolution constantly transforms the way we live our lives. The introduction of our national fiber network creates the opportunity for Belizeans to live the digital lifestyle. Today, Digi is proud to introduce Dana, Belize's first artificially intelligent automated assistant. Dana is the modern customer service experience. Available 24/7, Dana can provide Digi prepaid and postpaid customers with directory information, credit and plan balances, product and promo information, and more. Just talk to Dana. Want to check your credit balance? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, what's my credit balance?
New Digi promotions? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, any new Digi promotions?
Dial 113 for directory assistance and dial 119 to talk to Dana. Digi remains committed to introducing the latest in cutting-edge technologies, transforming Belize one technology at a time. Try Dana today.
Thank you for calling Digi Customer Service.
Someone come? Yes, someone coming. Let's go. Sa. Fastest question of the day. What you the letter?
Who sent me the letter?
That sign right there. You can't read?
Well, make I tell you something. In this community, everybody dump here, so me just dump my garbage right here.
So if somebody jump off a bridge, you that do it too?
No, man. No.
You never know that littering is an environmental crime and Department of the Environment can charge you for that?
Why is that a crime?
Because you pollute the same environment you live in, dirtying the same land and water you use. You don't even know that you dumping garbage can make you and your family sick by attracting disease-carrying pests, and the Department of the Environment just to try help we take care of the environment.
Sure, all of that? Well, now that you put it that way.
Thanks for your 5 cents, brother.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
Goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with a cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega and Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
The sunny days are here, and whether it's for a picnic or in your kitchen, you need the meat. Gillette's Meat Chop proudly offers a variety of juicy cuts such as processed meats, ham, bacon, salami, longanisa, and sugar cure ham, just to mention a few. Enjoy our meats in beef, pork, and mutton. So for that healthy cut your family enjoys, visit us at number 18 San Antonio Road in Orange Walk from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12:30 and 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Place your orders at 322-3486 or 322-2175 or even 610-4061. Send us an email at derekgillett31@gmail.com. Gillette's Meat Chop, fresh and processed meats.
Ay, qué rico. World-class spaces for Belizean athletes to thrive and fans to enjoy. Our new basketball and multi-purpose arenas have proven their worth, attracting regional and international sporting events and hosting expos, conferences, and proud graduates. Your government moving Belize forward.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's exactly 3 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Minister Aragon and Robert Checker are share with you. Minister, let's go to the east. When we talk about Orange Walk East, we know Orange Walk East is a very large constituents and it's spread out because right in the town area, you got a lot of people. Then you have Champagne Ridge, you have Tower Hill, you have Carmelita, you have Palmar, you have Santa Marta. We know things tight right now, things tight to the government. We know that you have done your part and that coming from the government. What's the hope for persons, residents living in Orange Walk East with this pandemic and what we're going through right now?
Well, right now, like I said, there's not a community within this country that is not being affected. There's not a person, as far as I know, who could say, well, I'm not affected, none whatsoever. I think this has impacted us, whether in the way of life, in terms we have to use masks, we have to look at social distancing, we limit the way we come out of our homes, outside, how long we take out there, interactions with people, everything has changed to a large extent. In terms of how the Orange Walk East constituency is affected, I think that it is impacted upon, because if you know Orange Walk and the East is a part of Orange Walk, and the large portion of our residents are from the town. And a lot of people on a day-to-day basis travel from here to Belize City to work.
Right.
And a lot of people, even from Orange Walk East and the town, we have a lot of people from Orange Walk who works in the tourism sector, whether they work as a construction worker in the new buildings and new developments that are taking place in San Pedro, or in the tourism sector directly as tour guides, and people who work at hotels, restaurants, and all these things. Because we have a lot of our people in Orange Walk work outside. They work with
the tour guides.
Exactly.
Right?
So definitely we have a number of people affected. I know a lot of people who are personally affected. So this has impacted everybody in the East, and I think that like I said, I had a discussion with you last time in terms of when we looked at Orange Walk. At least in Orange Walk itself, we weren't 100% or 90% reliant on tourism, right? Tourists, yes, come to Orange Walk, yes, then pass through. We are mostly an industrial people in terms of having to work with the sugar factory. We have the liquor factories, we have the other industries, the farming community, and all of these things. We have the Mennonites in Blue Creek Shipyard, people will work out there. So a lot of our people and a lot of our people from here work in Belize City in other jobs, call centers and all of these things. But at the end of the day, that has, to me, has assisted Orange Walk, for not really feel that impact the way other communities like, let's say, San Pedro, Kikaka, Placencia, then take some seriously. They are taking them seriously, as far as I personally believe, no. So in Orange Walk, yes, we are impacted, and I'm glad to know that within the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago now, we have had our construction workers getting back to work, and that has assisted tremendously, because you have a lot, like I said, a lot of people from Orange Walk go to San Pedro, Belize, they're all over, go to construction. You'd be surprised, we have people from Orange Walk working in Cayo building homes.
Right.
So, I'm glad to know these people can get back to work. There's other industries that we have to look at, right now the tacos vendors. I mean, if you look at Orange Walk, we have a lot of self-employed people who are in the food business, the tacos.
Small business.
Even no matter what they're out there doing their thing. And I know that submissions have been sent up to the National Oversight Committee to begin to consider in opening up the tacos and all the small vendors in our communities. I think it is about time that happens. I personally feel that we need to support these people who are doing these things, because these people need their work. And they create not only it's not only about their employment or putting them back to work, but they support a large part of our community. You go get up the morning, you just shut out. You get $2 tacos, you set your breakfast right there. And I think it lends itself to the wider community. So I do think that is important, and I know that has gone up to the National Oversight Committee. So hopefully within, I know next week, Monday is a holiday. So I think by maybe within 2 weeks we should see these places officially given the green light to open up, and I'm hoping that comes about, and the sooner the better for me, because I think it is important for, especially like a town like Orange Walk, where we let the tacos stop, so
they employ people too.
Yeah, man, so it goes a long way, and I think everywhere we can get back to our economy in terms of people being active or being back into employment or back into being involved with something, to me goes a long way, But definitely we cannot take away the impact that this COVID-19 has had on the tourism sector, where we are heavily reliant on.
You mentioned on this show and other appearances that you have done that when it comes to the representatives from the government side, the government is not giving any area representative any funds when it comes to servicing your area, like to help people, and also the area rep has no input into the way how the relief fund is being distributed, how the pantry is being distributed. How do you cope with that to keep your area going? I know it's hard if you say I'll keep a whole area going, but how do you cope with that?
Well, definitely the government, in terms of the financial support that government is giving, in terms of the food pantry that the government is giving, those are, how would I put it, totally have excluded the representatives' involvement. So across this country, there's not a representative that could say, I have a say in this. There's no say in who gets the financial assistance. There's no say in who qualifies for the food pantry that the government gives. That has been left up, the food pantry is left up to the Ministry of Human Development, and when you look at the financial assistance that is left over to whatever task force is put together to decide and receive the applications, etc. So there's nothing in terms of where you can say me as a representative here in Orange Walk East has a say in that. That has been done so to ensure that there's no political interference. Now, of course, it begs to ask the question that, so who decides these things? Well, it's an oversight committee. At the end of the day, you have PUP and UDPs where my thing there. Or some certain areas where mostly PUP, they decide certain things. That is the reality of life. But at the end of the day, it has been done in that way, so there's no political interference. And I could tell you right now, in terms of Orange Walk East, and I think across this country with representatives, with my colleagues, they are not getting any help from government. So there's no government help that come and say, boy, send up their names and make your people get that, or send up them make them getting financial assistance. None of that is happening. And I think the government has made that decision because we want to ensure that the public understands that this government is here for all Belizeans, and not just, because you are UDP or PUP, when I try sway things here. No, it is the government has made this decision because we want the people to understand that we're here for all Belizeans. No matter if you're a PUP, UDP, etc. This is a matter of national importance that we ensure we can reach out to Belizeans across this country and for things to be fair. And that is what the government has stand for, and that is why no representative has gotten any hand in those programs that the government has done. In terms of government assistance for, say, well, then you give representatives money for this and that, none at all either. There's not a grain that we get from government in terms of assistance for us to assist our divisions. I have been able to do a lot in my division in terms of creating food pantry because I know with people in our division more than some of the people at Human Development and otherwise, I know the person who live by himself with the 2 kids. I know the person who is sick. I know the person who really need help, who are not working, etc. Because we live with them.
You can't do anything when it comes to human development.
Yeah, no, we don't have no impact on that. But what I have done and my committee has done is put together these pantries that we have brought together, and I've been able to give out good pantries, I think, because we really organize, we really come together. Funds that I have to find on a personal level, both people who support me and from myself. I put these things together so we can make things happen for the people in Orange Walk East. And I think we can do that. And I have to thank a man like Castro. I think Castro, he's out there. I think he get donations like from bananas and stuff, and he sent down bananas, a whole amount of bananas which we give out to our division. And I'll tell you, Castro, you look at Castro also issued bananas to the PUP. So the bananas where the PUP they give out there is also, it comes from Castro. Castro get these bananas. I don't know where he get it and how he get it, I'll be frank with you, but I know he issues the bananas and say, Aragon, we got so much banana, what we send to you, and I want you to know when I give the PUP some bananas. So I don't got a problem. At the end of the day, let people get it. So, and so all of these things, these are some of the things how we are able to reach out to people, like, and people say, well, a banana, but to me, banana is something anybody could eat. Yeah. And moreover, that is apart from the other things that we do in terms of the pantries and other stuff that we try to reach out to our communities. So it is a challenge, Checky, but nevertheless, we are working there for the people, and as best as we can, we are trying to support. And I'll tell you, it's not easy, easy none at all, our allowances have been cut. People go to you for everything, as a representative. Some people might feel that there's an endless bag of money. The truth is, money is not finite with no representative, as far as I know. You understand me? And money is always limited. And when you lose half of your allowance, 50% of your allowance have gone. And you know, we gave up a month's salary. The UDP ministers, you know, representatives decided they will give up 1 month's salary to assist with this thing. I mean, so money is limited. But nevertheless, you know, I must be thankful to the community out there at large who continue to support us, you know, and believes in what we are doing and trying to reach out to the people. Because I will tell you, you know, my greatest concern in all of this thing is those people who are mostly affected by this situation. And the people who are mostly affected by this situation are the people who were already in a bad situation before COVID-19. To me, those are the people that I'm concerned about greatly, because I mean, and usually they're the poorest of the poor that is affected by these things. Because listen to me, that the poor man will have 5 children out there, you know, that the poor man will catch and kill.
True, yeah.
You know,
day by day.
And the wife no work, you know, and he had 5 picnics at school. So, you know, tremendous pressures, and you know, with this COVID-19 now, even a catch and kill makes it harder, because it goes right down the ladder from the top go down, and the pressures get even worse at the bottom. So, you know, I see these things because I know the constituency well, I know the villages well, I know the people in every village who need it the most. We try to reach out to everybody, but of course, you know, it's just a human process that some people will be missed. You never the home and a lot of things, and definitely there's not something to satisfy every single household, you know. We would want to reach out to every household, but, you know, and in this time, there's not a family who say, I don't need. Every family needs out there. But there are certain people who have it really, really bad, and those are the people we want to reach out to first, you know.
We'll continue, Minister, but it's 11 minutes after 8. We got some text messages that we'll be sharing with you all, so just hold tight, you know. And once again, the persons that are listening to us on the East Radio, and we have the number on the screen, but if you're just listening on the radio station, you can call 302-2170. That's 302-2170, and you can send your text messages at 600-5769. On that note, Minister Aragon and Robert Checker Usher will be back after these messages right here on Nortevisión Channel 10.
Philip Goldson International Airport is getting a major facelift to the tune of $31.5 million. Section B of the highway upgrading project between Haulover Bridge and the Buttonwood Bay Boulevard roundabout is underway at an investment of $21 million. Works consist of the full rehabilitation of the road to paved standard, which includes the widening of the road to 4 lanes, lined sidewalks and drains, wide shoulders, median, and parking, plus a bus lane at designated sections of the road. LED road lighting will be installed along with road safety features such as signs, reflectors, and road markings. The project will also facilitate in the improvement of underground infrastructure for the public utility companies. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
John Briseno says government needs to trim the fat. Let's take a minute to look at that fat.
Johnny Briseno receives a salary of $60,000 from the government to be the leader of the opposition and $84,000 for sports and community projects in his constituency. The People's United Party representatives receive about $993,000 annually from government to assist residents of their constituencies.
Since the COVID-19 state of emergency, the Prime Minister of Belize has given all his salary toward the relief efforts. The UDP ministers has given up a month's salary and allowances going forward. Johnny Briseno has not agreed to give up anything. The PUP representatives have not agreed to give up anything.
Leadership is about action, not words.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan muriatic acid now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward. Our economy benefits when goods and mobile services get to their destination quickly. When citizens are able to travel without frustration and undue hurdles, everyone benefits as well. The government of Belize is happy to announce the imminent upgrades to the Corozal-Sartaneja Road. 27 miles of road will be upgraded to paved standards and will include the replacement of 2 ferries with new bridges.
Why is it that we're going to invest in Sartaneja? Why is it that we have to take $50 million to invest in an area where we do not have a political directorate? We believe that as a government, we have to provide a service to all Belizeans.
Well, this for the village of Chunosh is a big advantage both ways. Sometimes when we got sickness, we got people sick at the clinic there, women. When we reach at the ferry, can't pass 45 minutes, have to wait. So now this road will benefit whole village, Sartaneja and Copperbank. I'm part of Progreso too. Well, it's really important for us.
I know that our village is not so much developed with tourism because it's a remote village. And for that reason, we don't have a lot of tourism over there. But now with this upgrading of the road and the pavement of the road, I think that it will be much beneficial for us and for everybody.
More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. Diginet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. A nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, Diginet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by Diginet. Diginet Boost, now available countrywide.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show, 19 minutes after 8. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow we'll be having Pastor Ann right here on the show because we couldn't do it yesterday, so tomorrow we'll be having Pastor Ann. Minister, we got a lot of texts, but we don't discuss one lot, but 2 texts I want to share with you. Somebody wants to know from Progresso if you will be having the Aragon Christmas Cup this year, and the next one wants to know if you have any information when it comes to high school, helping students to go to high school.
Yeah, all right. Very, very good texts you get there, Checky.
Yeah.
But the first, of course, we have had the Aragon's Christmas Cup for, I think, going for 5 years now.
And it rise and rise and rise,
It's
right?
gotten bigger and bigger, and of course we want to do it this year again. And I don't think, I think by that time sports and everything should be lifted.
It's usually in August, usually started too.
We start in September.
Oh, September, okay.
In September, so we still have time. So I'm very hopeful, and I nearly want to tell you we will have that competition. It's been a tradition now. I know we get a lot of teams, and it's something very, very good for the community. So
Families
definitely,
come out, right?
yes, man, we have a lot of people come out, a lot of young people involved with sports, and to me that is very positive. And I know our committee is always ready and prepared to have that Aragon's Christmas Cup. So for sure, I want to tell you, unless something tragic really happen, we don't might have it, but definitely we are all geared towards that this year for 2020. So
you're
that
looking
will be
forward to
work.
that?
Yes, man, we are looking forward to that. And that is, like I said, more in September. So we still have some lead time, and definitely we'll work on that. And I am sure that our committee will look at all that in terms of the preparations and informing all the teams out there, etc. So
Okay.
we have time for that. I think usually in August we begin to send out the notifications and
Registration.
stuff and make people sign up on that, no? So
Yeah, and that is usually held at the Louisiana Field. No?
Louisiana football field, and every year it's gotten bigger and bigger, and I think definitely this year we want to make this year an even exceptional year, being that we are going to do it for about the 6th year now, straight. So
What's the condition of that facility?
it's good. The facility is not bad right now. I'm hoping, and I said this COVID showing a lot of sticking at people's spokes, As definitely
I like that one.
we wanted to look at the bleachers, because I've been maintaining the bleachers ever since, and every now and then you have to change the boards that are there, they get rotten and that. And we wanted to put in purlines, with cement that are more permanent, something that has been done in San Esteban, that there are bleachers there that I have seen, and the same that we are doing now at the Sandy Field, football field,
Still working on that?
Yes, that is still ongoing. Maybe in a week or 2 we could bring you some of the pictures so you could see the kind of work that is taking place. So all of these little plans we had to upgrade things, but nevertheless it is still functional out there. So they are definitely we are still good with that. I'm grateful for the rain because the rain has come down. It's going to help the field with the grass, because every time we have summer, it take one little lick, the field there, but it survived. So I'm glad to see we had little rain that came down. But so I'm glad for that. But definitely that will happen. In terms of the other texts that you got, Checky, the one in terms of the educational assistance, I think this is very important for everybody, not only here in Orange Walk, but across this country. Because the government, a large part of the financial the budget, for the Ministry of Education has to do with the financial assistance it gives out to students every year. This year is an exception, right? Right now, this year, with the COVID-19, it's really show everything in disarray to a large extent. But at this point in time, I know the Ministry of Education is looking at where their finances stand in terms, because I will tell you at this point in time, the budget that every month, your allocated budget for your ministry that comes to you has basically been cut now, So most of the monies that come is only for salaries.
Yeah.
There's no other monies where you may have programs ongoing, and all of that to a large extent has been put on hold.
So there's nothing extra?
Nothing extra in terms of that. In terms of the Ministry of Education, the priority in terms of government priority for all these years have been education. And like I said, a large budget goes to that. At this point in time, I've not gotten a definite answer from the minister responsible, Patrick Farber, for that ministry, in terms if there will be any funding for financial assistance to students for school, whether you may go to a primary, high school, sixth form, university. Every year we reach out to people and assist them, those in need, So at this point in time, I don't have an answer to say, well, yes, no worry, that program will carry on, or it will be cut somewhat, but it will still be there, or we'll not have it done at all. I don't have an answer as yet. I am waiting on the Ministry of Education to give us a definite answer so that we could highlight people and let them know. But, but looking at the situation, I am sure that the program will not be the same if there is a program, and we don't know if it will be one or not. So I am hoping that the minister, honorable minister, could give us a direct response, and I'm hoping for that response maybe next week or the week after, the latest, so that we can inform the public out there. Because, I will tell you, Checky, we have been since, as a representative, I've been able to assist a lot of students, to get through their high school, especially in the high school bracket. And of course, to help people towards the sixth form. And I think people really appreciate that, because that is a financial push that they would have been really struggling to get that little extra money to pump into their own personal education.
It would make you feel good if you know that somebody had to drop out because of financial
situation, and life is real, and I will tell you as a representative and this government, that financial assistance from government for education, Checky, people look towards that every year. Look towards Ali help, and it goes a long way. I did tell you, because the people who come and the people who really need it are appreciative. And I will tell you, it's not only here in Orange Walk, across the country. I know that has impacted tremendously on the lives of our students across this country. But like I said right now, I don't want to touch a thing right now. Real challenges. I am hoping and wishing for the best. And I'm definitely, like I said, as soon as I get that answer, I will let people know, because a lot of people call me, a lot of people text me and ask me about it, and I tell them, listen, better wait, make I say what is going on, because the Ministry of Education at this point in time, right now, with the cuts that each ministry is taking right now, they have to look and see what is there, And I think every ministry right now is looking internally at their own ministries and looking at saying, this program was ongoing. We might have to cut this program, do that. But this is a priority. Let us focus on that one thing. So with a limited budget, and when I tell you limited right now, if out of 100%, then again maybe 1/20th of that. What? Yeah. So that is limited funds coming to the ministries.
Yeah, I assume when it comes to education minister, this pandemic comes in a time at the ending and the starting
of
the
new school. Yeah, exactly. And government usually reaches out during this time in telling people, they get at least $300, they get this, and so people could say, well, you know what, this will help me forget my child for this year. Yeah. Then I will struggle and see how I pay for the rest of the tuition, and then we'll look at next year. And I'll tell you, Checky, over the years that I've been here, the amount of people we have helped, Checky, tremendous. Because to me, that is a priority. That is a important thing. The most important thing you can do for your child is give them education.
Educate your nation.
And I feel so good when I know we could reach out to a lot of people. And to me, this COVID-19 thing, I could really sense that, it's a crunch on everything, from government finances right down to the person, and so we are waiting to see on that. But very good text, I think, and I hope I've done my best to answer this question, and I have been behind the Minister of Education to really find out, and like he said, we're gonna have to wait and see what we get on that. He has to look at all of that, and see and to what extent and all of these things. So like I said, at this point in time, that is not my ministry, so I can't even begin to tell you on what is what there, but definitely I'm waiting an answer, a definite answer, so we could tell people straight up this is the situation.
Through the Ministry of Education, along with the government, last year on the PM speech, there was good intentions, because he was saying all government high school will get from 1st to 4th form. So the intention is there.
Yeah, and that has always been a priority for government. It's not an if or maybe under the United Democratic Party government, Checky, we have assisted a vast amount of students to get through, whether they may at high school or primary school or sixth form university. A lot of help has gone out to assist these people through their period while they were studying, and I know it has impacted positively on their lives. Now, now we are at this crossroads right now where we're battling with this COVID-19. So, like I said, I don't have the answer right now, and as soon as I get that answer, I will let people know, because people need to know where they stand.
Yeah. Well, right now, some of the high schools, Minister, with your acceptance letter, they have a cost, but they are saying you can pay down a percentage and then you can start. So you can start maybe down the road when the government gets back. Probably they can start.
But I think right now a lot of it is looking at the fees, so that the fees people owe, so that they can get their diplomas or whatever, and so that they could then apply for the new, whether sixth form or high school, whatever. People have to finish pay off. And then it's not only that, it's about registering your child to the new school or wherever you're going. So all of these things are has implications on the persons going out there. We do have people who genuinely, this assistance goes a long way for them.
Yeah, but with the assistance, before this COVID, Minister, with the assistance, when your child used to go to school, anybody child go to high school, they never had to apply. That was automatic too.
No, well, it depends. Remember, you had different program. You had the subsidy, which is once you qualify and you get the subsidy, that is automatic first and second. The first and second years automatically get the $300.
Yeah, so they don't have to apply automatically. The PM said that for the government high schools, it was going up to fourth form.
Yeah, well, all of those were the intentions, and then of course you have the other financial assistance that is given directly to the student towards his tuition. So that goes to the school where this child is studying, and that is an assistance, financial assistance towards the tuition. So, and I'll tell you that helped tremendously a lot of students,
Somebody say to ask the minister if Vital Stats is working.
Yes, Vital Stats, as far as I know, is up and running.
Okay. How, when it comes to traveling over the country, Minister, what's the restriction? You can just jump on a bus and say, I'm going to Belize today, or get in your car, so I'm going to PG. Any restrictions when it comes to traveling?
Well, there are still restrictions. Remember, right now we have the state of emergency. That is the overarching restrictive measure that the government has put in place, the state of emergency, which includes a curfew from 8 to 5, Nobody should be out without new cars in terms of emergency and whatever is stipulated within the state of emergency. And apart from that, of course, the restriction is still there, that I can't just hit the circle tongue without a purpose. You must have a purpose to be out. That means if I get up the morning for catch a bus, it's because I'm going to work. I have a work in Belize City. Or if I catch a bus because I have to go to the PG because I got my mother is there. I know here for a long time and he's sick of the care medication, if I want to go check on her. You have to have a purpose to move. And not just for several, I just a circle and I just a chill pill. That's not the cut it right now, right? We are still trying to say, let us look at the social distancing, let us look at the less people on the ground out there, the less chances we give COVID-19 to spread if it's out there. So people must have a purpose to move. And I think if you have listened to every week where the Prime Minister and you have the Attorney General speaks upon the measures in terms of the restrictions being lifted, and we have seen gradually certain things being lifted. So the construction man now could get back to work. You had all these things. Because one spell you couldn't do nothing,
Yeah.
So everything is opening up. Restaurants now are opening up. Hotels are opening up. Down the road, I foresee tacos will open up. Tacos vendors will be able to sell. Or small vendors, you will see fishing for pleasure and all of that will be open up. All these things will happen. Like I said, everything with due time. So we have seen gradual lifting of restrictions. And I think... the whole fact, and I have always told you, because people call me Saragon, I could do this. I say, if you have a logical reason, a purpose to be out, of course,
We still need
you
to
know?
take the preventative
Yes,
measures,
we
right?
have to keep that in mind. We have to, and right now the restriction in terms of you have to have a mask on.
Even if you're a construction
Even
worker
if
at
you're
work.
out there and you of course you know you might breathe now and then, but you have to have it in case you're the wrong, you know. The mask is there as a prevention in terms of the spread of the COVID-19.
And to protect you as well.
Of course. So it is mandatory right now that you have your mask on. So you're out there, you have to have your mask on. You put on your mask as you left, and get into the public. So that is a restriction that is there, a mandatory thing. And so for everybody moving around, you have to move it on purpose, you know. And that is the whole idea, still having these restrictions in place. But you know, the more restrictions lifted, the more you see people now will be in restaurants and this and that. And all I think government is asking the business sector is to maintain the social distancing, rules and stuff like that, you know.
Minister, the next topic before we close, it's 26 away from 9. When it comes to lands is a very tight issue all over the world. We have this group that was there in the Cotton Tree area, somewhere in the Cayo district. There was a big gathering at one place on Sunday. I mean, they say somebody own this land, but they figure that the person will pay a tax. You know the law. In your own words, can someone just go and say, okay, well, I take this piece, I take this piece, I clean down this piece, I am build there, and then tension rose.
Yeah.
That people feel like they have the right to do it. How
Yeah,
that work?
and then you see, I've always told people the only person who could issue lands in this country is the Minister of Lands. There's nobody, not even me, could give you a piece of land. I can only give you a recommendation. Where the minister will then consider, or the lands department will consider, and then you could get your piece of land. But
And
only
even
the
if
minister could give you the land when he signs that title.
If you
or
recommend
lease.
somebody and the minister gives you a paper to give that person that's saying, okay, you're qualified, it's not you issuing it. It has to be from the ministry.
Yeah, so only the minister has the authority. If you look at your leases, you look at your purchase price, your title, at the end of the day, it comes from the Ministry of Lands. Okay. And I think in terms of title and that the minister have to sign all these documents.
Yes.
You know, so at the end of the day, this thing that was happening in Cayo, in terms of where they say, Petio, I think Petio and others were there saying, hey, everybody come here and take this land, come get your piece. That to me, that is totally out of order. And remember, we are in a state of emergency right now. You can't gather in mass. You know, so to me that was illegal in terms of that. People were putting themselves at risk. And the fact is that those lands are private lands. They're not like a piece of land where they're going to take where nobody have. Not because you see one piece of land out there, one big tract of land, and say, oh, they not do nothing with this, oh, we could go and take that.
But they were saying
some of these lands have private ownership, just like here in Orange Walk. You see some big tract of land and you say, oh, but why they not give their land to people and this and that? You go find out who own those lands. Find out who own those lands. Yeah, you can't do that. It's against the law.
But their thing, minister was saying that there are people who own the land and they're not paying the tax.
Yes,
so
but listen to me. That is not here or there. And I watched the news last night. The people from, I don't remember the
Sigiri?
Yeah, they are saying that, and that's true. If I recall correctly, there were a big dispute in terms of, and I believe it's the same parcel of land there. But the thing is that they are saying that they are paid up in full as part of the settlement agreement or whatever. But my thing is this: if you got a land checking, you got a lease. You have leases that are 7 years, leases that are 30 years. That is a contract with you, you know, you and government, right? Like I say, you have that lease and you begin to clean, and something happened to you. I say, "Bye, I have to left that and I need for the one next thing, and we'll come back here." And because you know use it 1 year and 2 years, somebody say, "Well, I'll take the land." You still have an active lease with the government. The government has given you that so that you work the land.
Even if it's just a lease?
Yes, even if it's a lease. Leases, you have a lease with the government. The government says, "I give you this for 7 years to make you do your thing."
And even if you know the pay.
No, when the lease has expired and you never do nothing with that lease, then government could say, "You know what, Checky, I give that and you never do nothing, so I had to give somebody else."
But
if you purchase it and you buy it and you get your title, then that is an absolute title. That is your property.
But if some group of person they do the research and they get all the information from lands buyer, you know what? this person got that land, he got a lease, but you know, pay for 10 years. That doesn't give me the right to go, why? Buy this person if I pay, so I could go.
Yeah, you don't get no right whatsoever. You know, I mean, and my thing is this in terms of land. I've always believed that this country is big enough, has enough land mass, that every Belizean in this country is supposed to have one piece of land, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reality out there on the ground is that when you look at land expansion, you look at a lot of communities, and I will use the East for instance. When you go to Champion Ridge, there's no land to be given out there. All the lands were divided up into 30-acre blocks and given out. So there's no land around that village where you could say I could give. Everything is private. You go to Tower Hill. There's no land out there for that little village. They can't even put one bearing ground out there right now.
Small.
You know? A very, very small. And all the lands around there, although you go there and you see vast tracts of lands there, they're all in private hands. And some of these lands in the thousands of acres, people out there exactly know who have these lands. Sad to say.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the Santa Marta, most of those lands around that village is gone. There's a few that were there, we made it available to the people. You go to Carmelita. Carmelita is the last village where you could say have land that is close to the village, right? And we have been working, trying to get these lands into people's hands, you know. But it comes with a cost. You have to survey these lands, etc. What we have tried to do is get people involved to get out there, get them piece of land, clean it, etc. But of course, it doesn't come without problems where, you know, we've had people where two persons where they try to get one piece of land and all of that. We are trying to work around these things and deal with these issues. But at the end of the day, we are trying to, the objective is to get land into people's hands. And there's not enough. Because if you find 60 acres there, that will give you, I don't know, about 4 lots to an acre, whatever. When you involve the road, you have to make space for road and all of that. And so when you add that up, the land still will not give you for what is needed. Only in the East, I will tell you that I don't recall anybody has been issued lands or there have been a land expansion in terms of issuing of lots to the public in the East, in the residents of the East, for maybe the last 20 years or more. Roughly, I'm being conservative. At least 20 years ago, I don't think anybody get land out there. We are trying to look at, see where we find these lands to make lands available. So when you look at the size of the East and the amount of people who would deserving of a piece of land, because there are people who you're literally living 3 families in a yard, you know, and people need their lot so that they can begin to build their little house there and make their way forward. So the amount of people who need lots, right now the East need at least only 1,000 and 2,000 lots easy. For me, I could say, would really reach out to these families. Because there are a lot of people in the division.
Is not there, right?
You know, and for find these lots, you know, easy one, we have to find the land. And I will tell you, in the past, I've seen where lands were given out far out of villages. Nobody go there. Because there's no water, no light, and it's so far, that's not the country you're right now. So the best way we can help people by being able to give land that will mean something to people is land that is right adjacent to the village, where you could expect that if I get the land now and we work it, in 1 year, 2 years, water, light, they come. You know, it take long. So we have worked on those, and we have seen that where we found land right beside the village, adjacent, right next to the last street of the village, we find land. And we divide and give out. People went in there because it's close. And then we open some roads and light gone in. We put in light. Water is to go now next. But there are other little areas we want to open and give out land to people. But it is limited still, Chucky.
Yes.
And to me, I think every Belizean deserves one piece of land, man. But you know, life has not been fair. And I talk not because I'm here. But life has not been fair. Mankind has not been looking at equity for all, right? Because you have people where they own 1,000 and other acres, and yet another man can't even own one piece of lot, which are maybe 75 by 100. You understand what I'm telling you? So those are some serious challenges, and that are not just now. We can't say, oh, this administration and that. This is, you have people who own that for years and then get it, you know. And how will you do that? I can understand for farming and that. It might be appropriate because for farming, the investor, whoever, but this is a business for farming. You have to invest money, and you can't go invest money if you're into farming on 5 acres. That will not put you nowhere.
Yeah, but Minister,
You know, so
what will you
our
say-
people need land. We must find out ways and means to find these lands for people. But the challenge is that a lot of people have taken up lands for thousands of acres or even more and not done nothing with it. You
So
know?
what would you say? You said the Carmelita are supposed to have lands. Suppose
They don't have one lot right close to the town. There's trucks that we are working to try to get as much as we can so we could give it out. But
Yeah.
remember, these things come with castings, and right now I know the Ministry of Lands we're going to support in terms of doing some surveys. But with that, what is happening right now, I'm not sure if those surveys could be paid by government now. So we have to see
So government
how
has
else we
to
move.
pay for the surveying?
No, it doesn't have to. But it is easier. If we get government for can do it and do it faster, register the map and we get the lot numbers and we issue it out.
So-
Without that, then somebody has to find the money to pay the survey.
So like if they have some lands there, there's no surveying, no infrastructure. Somebody could just go and chop down a lee bush and put up a lee house there.
No, that don't work so neither because there's a government land. Nobody could do that in this country. You can't just go and squat and take one piece of land. That is illegal. And then you run the risk that if you do that, then one, you might do it in private property, right? And two, let's say we are working on an area that we want to subdivide, and that you might they take one piece of land where they're right in at the street.
Where do the street are
Where the
passed?
street and pass. So there's a lot of things, but definitely there's a purpose for the lands department is there for a reason. They're not just there for have one name. They are there for a reason. And like I said, people who are looking for lots, I mean, definitely the need for find where this lot might be and apply for it. You know, like I always tell people, I don't mind give recommendation, but once the land is available, you know, and I will never send you to somebody land where somebody else own or somebody have one lease already on it.
Yeah, they can't
because you can't do that.
They
you
can't
know?
go to you and say, Minister, watch out, man. There are people that is land here a long time and they know they pay for it. Help me with it, no?
Yeah.
But then if it's somebody, you can't help nobody.
You can't take away nobody land. That's the last thing you want to do.
We'll take this call. Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
I have a question. What does the minister think about lands that they're owned for the past 30 years that were bought by big enterprises, big companies or influential people, let's say, for development? But it's been 30 years and nothing been happening. And people need land. And these are prime land. They're on roadside, like what's happening right now in the Cairo district. What does he think about it? Because I know for a fact that the government had some waivers on property taxes owed to the government. And apparently, what I understood this morning on the news from Mr. What's his name? Izagiri, that these taxes were waived off. This property, this said property that Mr. Petillo is fighting to get for the people. So apparently, this landowner or this company owed a lot of property tax, and it was waived by the government. So now they according to Mr. Izagiri, there was no tax on this land. So they're free of taxes. So they can government cannot claim, say, I will take some in payment of the taxes you owed me. What is your take on this? Because this for the past, what I understood on the news, this land is there for the past 20 to 30 years. It was for development and nothing has been done. I mean, 20 years, imagine, that's almost a lifetime, right? And nothing has been done. What do you think about that? I mean, I think personally, in my opinion, I might be wrong, the government needed to purchase that land with the taxes owed by this company or this owner and distribute it to the people. They wouldn't be in the problem they're having right now with land. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Carla. But just to correct you there, in terms of the settlement of taxes, this has been done, I think, many times over. Government took part of that land, you know. That land and not the whole land, that the entire scope of that land, if I'm not mistaken, government took a part of that land. And as a part of that settlement, then tell the man you and get free whole title.
So trade
for
off.
that, you trade off. You say, you know what, your taxes where you want all that, we'll write that off so that we could get a portion of these lands and you will remain with the next piece. That has been done over and over in different areas where government tries to acquire land. right? So that is the way they get their taxes written off. It's not like the government do that because I want to write off check thing. They do that as a part of one settlement in terms of that. You have, and that has been done several times over, not only in Kaya, but all over the place. I mean, where you have somebody where have 100 acres or 50,000 acres, and you have not paid no taxes, but you have had it for a long time. Government come and say, listen, man, you can't have all this land and you don't pay up your taxes. So you know what? We will take 25,000 acres, and the next 25, that are for you. So those are the kind of trade-offs and the kind of negotiations in terms of how government deals in acquiring land and how people get their taxes waived off. Because, in this life, only two things you could do: dead and pay taxes. You have to do, right? Yeah. So, and apart from that, in terms of what the caller mentioned, listen to me, when you got absolute title, if you have a title for a land checking, nobody could contest that away from you, not even the government. And if you have that land and you sit with that land and do nothing with that land, who will come take it away from you? The government can only take away land if it is in what they call deemed the public interest, and you must have certain grounds to show that it is public interest. Maybe you have this tract of land and I have to take it because we need for put one school here. Maybe for that, the government and tell you, listen, you have this land for 30 years, the use, we'll take it back for public interest, but they must pay you in terms of what is the market value for that. Even if you got it as property. But that is in a very rare thing, because you challenge at the court, government can't go say, for public. They first say, you're not going to piece of land elsewhere where you could put the school. They're not an easy thing to take away anybody land when they have a title, especially a title. When it comes to leases and that, of course, government could maybe have more leeway on that. But when it comes to title, nobody could take that away from you. So if you have one farm, like the Carla, maybe the Carla have a farm of 30 acres of land. Mm-hmm. They do nothing with it, let's say. Yeah. And you have a title. Man like Petit and the rest of the crowd could say, well, you guys see 30 acres here, the man they don't, he got it for 20 years and do nothing but that. They go take it. That they have no right to do that. You have a title. Nobody could go take it. We live right now in a how would I put, law-abiding society. If we would allow that, the government would allow that, then you know how much tracts of land where people who are just going and take. Then we will not have law and order. That is why I say that I sincerely believe that every Belizean should be entitled to a piece of land. But we must make those lands available, and easy, right? Because when you look for land, I tell you, I've been looking for land all over these things, because we have a lot of people in the east who for the last 20 years not get no piece of land. Wow. But finding these pieces of land not easy. You go to Tower Hill, it's a nice piece of land. We could just expand the village and give one land to everybody in town and everybody in the villages. But the land belongs to people who have taken up thousands of acres of land. Yeah, and they have title. These are the challenges we have, and I always believe that in terms of planning, and this is where maybe past leaders have failed too, that they not plan properly in terms of land. I mean, if you go a village, you have to know that, listen, 3 years from now, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, this village will grow. So we have to secure land to ensure that we could give lots to future generations of that village. Right. They're not doing that kind of thing. They just take and split up all the land and say, all right, 30 acres, you take that, it's dead. So these are the challenges we face, and I think it comes with urban, with planning, or both urban and rural planning has to be there. Yeah. And all of these things create problems. But definitely, Checky, I sincerely believe everybody needs a piece of land, and government has to find ways and means to make these available. If you go to other countries, Checky, the ordinary person don't own land. Other countries, people don't own land. You go to Mexico, you think or you go to States, you think the John Jones just get up and then say, hold that, this is your piece. Government, work so. You have to buy that land. Yeah. So, but like I said, this is the situation where it is, and of course, at this point in time where everybody they gather for go there is illegal because
if they got a land department, let me check about that land, let me find out, okay, this thing got property and somebody own it.
Yeah. And only that, but then once people have title, you can't just say, well, we take that on our own and go and divide that,
Yeah. I got a text here that say, good morning, Minister, in Spanish. He say wants to know why the light bills are coming high, because what they used to pay They say right now they almost triple the amount that I used to
I
pay.
tell you the truth. That is very true because even my house is gone up. But I could tell you why. Because I got my kids home. Then they got the fan on all day.
The refrigerator
They
got
got
so much time for the day.
you name it. They got the TV on and they watch TV. When they ended at school, there is nothing there under my house.
Nothing to burn.
Nothing they burn because nobody's home. Right now, everybody they home. So what happened? Then burn more current. You know, that could be a reason. I know they said that is the reason, but I'm telling you, I could see it from my own house. And every time I have to reel up, why I don't got the fan on? Why don't out the light out? But the more people home, more light they run, more everything they run. So, you know, because I see my light bill gone up too. So, but like I said, you know, I don't know. I don't work with BL. So I have I can't really say what the situation is. But I could tell you from my only experience, I want to tend to believe it has to do a lot with people being at home.
Yeah. Well, apart from that, Minister, somebody show me them bill, and I tell them, you see this bill when we come in March, you see you never pay this bill, and this bill never come in. This bill we receive in March, that bill is not for March, and that bill is for February. And the next one come in April, that's for February and March, but you never pay. And then when next one they come now, that can be for February, March, and April. So you have to watch the cycle of your bill as well. When this thing may come down, if you may pay your March bill, you bill in a March, you know they pay for March, you pay for February. Then when you pay in a April, you pay for March.
Yeah.
Because they can't charge you before the month because they have to see your readings.
Yeah.
But it also goes with what you say, everybody at home, some more current to burn. But Minister, it has been a pleasure. You're closing, hold on, make us say.
Yeah, time flies so fast, Chicky.
Yeah. Okay, let's close this morning. Your message?
Yeah, well, you know, first of all, Chicky, I want to thank you and the staff here at Channel 10 for having me here every Wednesday. You know, always a pleasure, and you know, I'll be here every Wednesday. You know, we could chat some of the issues and things like that, things of concern. You know, it's always a pleasure, and of course, I want to big up the guys there at East Radio.
Morning, guys.
You know, for transmitting live from here. No, also I just like to tell the people, especially the residents of Orange Walk East, that you know we continue to do our best in reaching out to those most in need and most affected. It's not easy, you know, and challenging thing, I tell you, because I meet people every day, Chicky. Every day I'm out there. People come to my house, people go to the office. Well, the office is not open. I still have our staff that reports, because we have a lot of other little work that has to be done, you know, and so I have them coming in. We just start coming, and as soon as I get any chance, we'll open the office. But for the meantime, we got a lot of work that we have to catch up on, and definitely I want the people of the East to know that I know the challenges, I understand the issues, the concerns people have, the things they are dealing with, because that I interact with a lot of people. People explain to me, people give me the situation that they are facing, and it's real situations, you know. People were sick and need operation. You know, that has not stopped. Not because we have COVID-19, people don't get sick again. All of these things continue, where representatives have to deal with. And I know that representatives across the country, you know, experience these things because people come up to them. And we have always been there to try to assist, and we continue to do so as best as possible, you know. But everything is limited right now. I mean, the challenges that the nation faces, not only on the government side, but on our personal level, it exists likewise. So we have challenges in everybody has their own challenges, and nevertheless we are here to try to assist, and in whatever way we can, we will continue to assist. And I just wanted to let you know that I understand, and we are here together because we are in this together, and I'm confident that together we will overcome these things. And I'm waiting and looking forward to the day where things will get back to normal, as close to normal, you know. But during this time, we have to prepare and understand that based on what is happening, not only here in Belize, but abroad in terms of the bigger nations like the United States, you know, and other nations that impact what happens in Belize, especially in the tourism sector, we must be aware that this will not happen overnight. It not happen like Fayato tomorrow or next week, Monday night, where I get up and say, all right, everything's back to normal. We got to where we are right now because of the COVID-19, and it's going to take us some time to get back to where we were before the COVID-19. And that process, and during that time, is where we will be tested the most in terms of our resilience as a nation, in terms of how we manage things, and of course, not only on the political realm, but likewise on our local personal lives. And I ask that we do our best in terms of how we manage that, and hopefully I think that people can do that because we have a resilient people in this country, and I have to big them up again because, again, Cheke, we continue to remain the only nation in this hemisphere right now who is COVID-free, right? And that speaks tremendous of Belize, and it speaks tremendous of the people of this country, because if we never have one community, people of this country, we never care in terms of listening to the government, whenever they won't take up that responsibility to ensure they put their masks and abide by the regulations, we would have more cases, I believe. But thanks to the people of this country who are responsible, who have been cooperating, that we could call ourselves right now COVID-free. But remember, we have a long way to go before we recover and get back to where we are. And it's during this time that we will face the most challenges. And I ask everybody to understand that. And I feel if we work together, both at the national level in terms of government and along with you all at home and things, together I think we will come out of this. And I say we'll not come out unscathed, but of course with everything, we'll be perfect. But nevertheless, I do feel that we will get back to where we were and grow to greater bounds. But at this point in time, we understand everything, and I ask people to understand that and let us see how we move forward and continue to do the things that we do. And I look forward to the lifting of restrictions, Cheke, locally, so we could get back our tacos vendors out there, supporting the economy and, of course, supporting our communities, and everybody back into getting this thing moving slowly, and hopefully down the road, we'll see the tourism coming back and things like that. So, for me, my parting words is, let's stick together and get over this, no?
Well, thanks very much, Minister. I want to wish yourself, your family, everybody at the East Radio, and everyone that works in your community, everybody that lives in the East, we want to wish you all the best.
Yes, man.
Thank you. Hope to have you back here next week, Wednesday.
Sure.
For no major changes, no?
That's right.
But I know that you will always do your best to be here, even if you have to change the day, but you're going to make it something.
Yes, man,
week, right?
definitely. Sure that them, Cheke.
Yeah. So, folks, we'd like to thank Minister for being here, and thanks you all who send texts, who call, and if you just keep on your radio, on the East Radio, and view North Television Channel 10 to listen to the conversation. We thank you so much. Thanks, Rahim. Today we have the repeat of Channel 7 News at 12, then the Hot Live News today, that will be at 6. Then tonight the show repeats at 8 o'clock. So once again, Rahim, thanks. Thanks to Delvi who called earlier. Tomorrow we are scheduled to have Pastor Ann. Pastor Ann was here yesterday, but because of the little power outage, we had to postpone until tomorrow. So Pastor Ann will be here tomorrow if the good Lord so will. Rahim and Robert Cheke Usher will be with you tomorrow. Have yourself a wonderful day.